good day. This is Kim Fuggles, Omar, you're real. Coming to y'all with another hood report.
Okay.
Coming with another hood report. This one is Touchers and My Sons. I'm using that My Sons because I keep hearing it from this particular guy. You hanging up? Alright, hold on, be quiet for a minute, please.
Guess what? Hold on, man. Remember when I told you?
Alright, I told her to be quiet. So, it's this guy. Matter of fact, the volume is on 33. Today's the 3rd, 32. Hold on, let me get this together. Hook this up real quick. Definitions.com, a letter to a soldier's broken heart. Let's see every race. We get some people up here in the meantime. I want you to rock out to this nice tune while I get this other camera together. Oh, what was this title again? Damn. My Son's Song. I forget the title to this thing. Snap. Snap. Clap. Touchers and My Sons. Touchers and my sons. Hello. Let's see if we got anybody in yet. Inside viewers. No viewers. See if we get somebody coming in. Leave a comment. See what's going on. Question. Touchers and my sons. What's up, Instagram? What's up, Facebook? This is Dapperlicious.com. Better to a soldier's broken heart. What do I call this? Touchers and my sons. I was talking to a guy who's quote unquote more, and he talks about the mathematics and the science, and he goes into I need the Kabbalah and the witchcraft and things of abuse, not from a warrior's point of view, but from oh, just give me strict. Oh my goodness, I gotta get a chair. Let's see, get it. Fix this camera. Let me put y'all up here and stand up. Stand up. Here we go. So I'm hearing all this sexual shit, right? The zodiac sign, this sign belongs to this sign and this zodiac belongs to that zodiac, and cause this, that, I belong to you, and da. Now I'm not thinking no nigga connotation to it. I'm not thinking no sexual nothing, like, it's not entering my mind. You know what I mean? It's not entering my mind of no form or no fashion. I'm at this point fucking super duper ignorant. Yes, you can call me king. You's an ignorant motherfucker. I'm guilty. I'm guilty as charged. I'm guilty. Alright? I got that. I'm not, I don't know gay, Slav, feminine, touch or top. I don't know the language of rape and manipulation. I don't know the language of taking what I want. I'm not familiar with that. I've seen it. But for me to sit there and say, hey, you know what? Because I'm a part of it. I know what you're talking about. Hey, let's go do this. You know, you're not just going to tell me, hey, you know what I mean? So because I don't have a heaven and hell to put nobody in, I'll let it fly on by. In fact, it doesn't even enter my ear. Plus I got too much watching and motherfuckers. So smoke too much. That's why. But anywho, so it kind of rubbed me the wrong way anyway, because, you know, but also I keep getting a phone call at the weirdest times, wondering why this motherfucker ain't never got nothing. Not now, auntie. We're gonna get to the deep-rooted shit. Y'all need to hear this. Touchers and my sons. So this guy who is happy to be a Bay, friends with elves, and the Red Vaz, and the Moor Science Temple, and how they civilized this, and how they were this, and how they conquered that, and how they're grand sheiks, and they're this, and they're that. But they're Masons, nonetheless. Because he said that. I didn't say that. It's none of my business. I'm not a Mason. I'm not into their business. It's not my shit. I don't even really talk about their shit. I know my grandmother was one. And I've never asked her about shit about it. I was always exposed to what they trained. What they trained. Or we changed this channel, got this girl's pussy in my big ass TV. And I'm like, damn. And they make sure, put their, she like, she, I mean, it just fuck my mental. I changed this channel, man. Yo, pop it. For some reason, this particular channel plays the same shit. I was like, bam, right in my face. Oh, hell no. Big breeding touches. So, the dude tell me, yeah, I'm a Mason, and my son, you know, we stand on these principles, you know, square. Now there is some good decent brothers that I'm not doubting that. Like my man Cosmo L. We watching him for a minute doing wonderful work. You know, just somebody I can remember off top that I've been checking out his handcrafts and books and stuff like that. But we're talking about the cancer universal brotherhood. The Touchers and the Masons. We're talking about guys like African and Big Bottom. We're talking about Farrakhan's comforting Masons who are touchers. Now, all this time, right, the children gravitate to us because they trust us and they believe it ain't about security. It's the fact that by nature, they know we're responsible for their well-being. And you have a Mason or a Mason or a mama's boy, aka a pussy boy, aka a pussy whip nigga, my son. That they so happy worship the black woman as God, the B or Beyonce, Sybil, Pyramid, Black and Gold. Yeah, we understand that. Nimrod. And so, let's go to these black Jew Masons. Yeah, they're called Gentiles. They are the black Jew Gentile Masons in the 5 books of Maccabees. They didn't take it out because the Pelskins said take it out. They took it out because they didn't want to expose who the black devils were being used in the name of Messiah. Who copied from his brother. That's why there's always a copy of something. There's always 2 of something. Because the twin always has to stand out and not just be that, the twin, the image. So we were twin in nature when it comes to us with the Most High, i.e. image creator. But the human twin, the Adam twin, don't want to create. He or she want to be God themselves. So we have a problem. Touchers. And because you want to create your own people, you have to touch our children, our daughters, and our mothers. I'm going to read something to you that happened to damn, so the way I can put a background back here, man. Let me see something. I ain't got my glasses on, so bear with me if you can. There's Omar Jose. Welcome to Dapperlicious.com. Welcome to Dapperlicious.com. Touchers and my sons. So now, I was just telling a friend, well, not a friend, what can I call it? This kinfolk. I was talking to kinfolk. Let me just say Sister Stace. There's a bunch of Sister Stacy's out there. So let's just say that. We'll just say her name is Sister Stacy. was mentioning about me observing from the times where there was no domestic violence patrol. Alright, there was no domestic violence patrol. There was no domestic violence patrol. I'll read something to you guys. What happened to my effects? That's messed up. This is somebody on broadcast, so he's out here. You want to request to join in on Instagram, please do. You want to request on YouTube, Facebook, please do. I'm going to read something to you, Afro-Asiatic brothers and sisters, and my Hebrew Muslim family on the whole globe. I told you I'm a globalist. I don't, what the fuck was that? Yeah, it might be a little dime or something. Yep, came off my thing. Something came off of that on the Panther's head. See, that's what that is. That's a Black Panther. Reminds me of the mission. Because I got my name through this mission. And folks had a mission through this program. And it worked so well that the touchers, Masons, the black ones, helped the beast literally blow it up. Oh no, that's the movement. When those black Masons, the touchers, didn't do anything. They were too busy touching each other and touching other people's children. We say to any women out there, any young sister out there, you have to understand, if you're male that is in your family a Mason, it is their job to touch you or let somebody else touch you. That's part of the ritual. It's called a sex ritual. If you've been raped, you're part of a sex ritual. Somebody was either put under a spell as a baby for a future ritual through them, that ritual will be complete whether they died or not, because spells is that real when it comes to touchers and my sons. And I'm going to read something to you. I've named it the Black Gentile Nations. I've already read to you that in the book of Jasher about the Tower of Babylon, that if you read the Tower of Babylon, this is these black Masons. And they're going to be in their own words. Okay? They're going to be in your own words on the architecture, the geometry, and the confounds. Masonry. Geometry. Alright, matter of fact, it says this. I'll read this to you. Check it out. Check this out. Alright? Check this out. I didn't write this word for word. Alright, this came out of a webpage called Company dash Masons. The history of Masons. Okay? The history. Wow, that's hot. That's nice. Ooh, snap! They hooked up the wow, they flame textures, all that. These black Gentile nations who war with God, who said we can go up to heaven, remove God, right, and become gods ourselves, El and Base. Alright? This is what the Black Masons, the Nimrod chapter, who created the Boule, who later on created the Alpha Zeta. Alright, the beginning and the end. Alright, that's who that is. That's who the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Zeta. Not the Alpha and the Omega, that's the Alpha Zeta. That's the beginning and the end. The Alpha and the Omega, that's the end of the pale skin. Remember, they don't have all the language. We wasn't going to give them all the alphabet so they can actually talk with us. They can talk to us, but not with us. So they don't have the beginning and the end, literally, Alpha Z. But they have the alphabet and the Alpha and the Omega. And that's that. So the legend of the craft continually confounds masonry, alright, geometry, and architecture, or rather uses them as synonymous and convertible terms. Convertible terms. Not convertible as in drop your top up and down, but convert means to switch or to convert you into something, or to convert you that you're not a Hebrew but a Christian in Acts chapter 23 verse 11. Alright, to convert. So you're convertible, where we change you from Negroes to African Americans. It was convertible. It was a masonry, put it in stone, and we did the geometry where they would live at, and the architecture, how they would live within this box, in this geometry, these mathematics, these sacred mathematics to how to box in African Americans, blacks. These are different boxes of cubes, and you can do that in every race or every whatever, and actually conjure these up, and this is how you would be able to control them, is in architecture. And we'll build cities with this and show God that told you this is what we do. Alright, so it says this: it is not therefore, surprising that it should have selected Babylon as the birthplace. The legend of the craft, masonry, geometry, architecture. They said they selected Babylon as the birthplace. So now it's Bible law. Remember I told y'all? We told you about Bible law. Y'all thought I was bullshit. It's Babylon, baby. Now it's Bible. What? The baby. The baby speaks. My son speaks. Now the baby about to speak again. And we're at in Babylon. And is the birthplace, and Nimrod as its founder, or what they would call the science. What is the science? To destroy everything or annihilate or annul everything that is not made through this science. And we have the masonry, the geometry, and the architecture. these three principles, that you can do that through the mind, 3, masonry, geometry, architecture, the soul, 3. So if you look at an atom, and there's a particle in an atom where it has 3, 3, 3. Alright, there's 3 up and 3 down. Alright, or something like that. Whatever the case is, there's a set going up, up and down, 3, 3, 3. And it reminds me that the Mason 3, Geometry 3, and Architect 3, in the electron, right, that's the electron. And if you can tap into the atomic person or atomic mind, the energy mind, with this Mason, get my shot. Here you go. See, I caught you. I caught you. Uh-huh. She's going to run off with my shot. Goddamn dog. She's taking shit. Taking shit. Who was that? The science. You see what I'm saying? We can go deeper and deeper than that. So the particular Mason slash Moore slash the representation of grand sheets and slash running around here saying that this and that slash who I really took as a man. I never took anything personal with this guy, even though despite my intuition, my instincts, and what I already sort of kind of felt that this is a game and something happened, did something. Reason why you can't come up to the hood, or some places you can't go or won't go. What else? And here I'm oblivious to, because had I not investigate this Illuminati, Mason, everybody want this, like, I said, all right, now the folks got my attention. Let me investigate. Let me do some research. Let me do some background shit. Like you would do me. I'm going to do the same thing with anybody else. And so, somehow, I wasn't privy to it. You know, I'm not a good follower. I'm not good at it at all. I'll listen. I'll ride for a minute, but eventually I'm jumping the fuck off. And don't try to pinpoint when I'm going to, because I don't know when I'm going to jump the fuck off and keep going towards the battle. So, in any war, you gotta stay moved. You can't afford to just sit there and be pinpointed what you riding and what's not riding. But this guy, he calls himself a Muslim too, who's speaking for all Muslims, I guess. Let him tell it. And this science, when I'm reading here, I'm noticing a bunch of men out there with integrity. It may or may not know this is going on. But he's a fucking pedophile. I didn't know that. I didn't know I guess what I can mention, the guy who said that this guy was trying to get in contact with me. Why? I don't know why. Because I don't support touchers. I don't like touchers. If I had the permission to destroy one, I would, with no problems. And I expect somebody to destroy me if I was a toucher. I would. If I'm willing to rape and take somebody's body and put my body fluids in it and think that that's okay, yeah, you should kill me. You should drag me in the middle of the street. Because I would do me like that. I would. So I judge you or I could judge myself. I judge myself first, but yeah, I judge myself harshly. I don't know about you. I don't play with me. I judge me harshly. That's why I be confident. And you motherfuckers be saying shit. Everybody, look, you just don't know. I didn't took care of that within me already. You know, because people putting their hands on you is not a good thing, and you know you're wrong. You motherfuckers get used to it. I can't. And so I come to find out, talking to some folks, didn't even know. It just so happened that when you go meet the motherfucker, before they're supposed to be doing a studio session, meet them up first because they go check out a building allegedly. And I get there, I'm in a good mood, seeing some old buddies. Walked around the corner, see some old buddies. You know what I'm saying? I walked in and see one dude, man, he used to be out in the streets, man. He looking good, man. I was happy for him. Dapperlicious, ding ding. May y'all bless that, right? He pull up, that type of thing. Fucking with him. He pulled off. You know, man, don't you ever call me again. I'm cool. But this is before I find out that this Mason, this quote unquote elder grand chief, Mr. I'm the pimp, da 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 da. But I got the science and the stars and the moon and yeah, the Kabbalah, da 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 da. Because I need this knowledge to do what? Touch some more children or abuse another woman? Is that what you're saying? This is what the Moorish Zion Temple agrees with? But let's read this. Let me finish reading this. Let's see. Babylon is the birthplace, one. Nimrod is the founder of what they call the science, the rituals, the sex science, the birth control science, the sex. Because remember, they want to fight against God. So any children of God or any innocents of God, me as a Mason must what? Use my masonry, my geometry, and my architecture, and the science of ancient Babylon to rape, to mislead a people from God. And get paid for it. That's why the cat is separated from the foundation of the pyramid. The cap is the stumbling block for them. So they must take the cap out the pyramid. Why? Because it's the pyramid. It's in the middle. What's in the middle of the pyramid? You look at the top of a pyramid, you'll see the dot. Boom. Pyramid, middle. What's in the middle? The sun hits the top of the pyramid, meaning the pineal gland. That is you. And you straight out all four corners of the earth. That's your arm, leg, arm. This is where they get Allah from. Yes, Allah. That means we submit. We take our arms, legs, and our head and our light, and we submit to the creator of pure light, the light of life, the life giver. Where without the life giver, everything dies. And when that is not to die, it has no light of life in it, but the lesser light. The illusion light called a camera. we all living in a lesser light, the darkness. That's why we can't see the light of the Most High. We get a glimpse of what? From the Son of God, literally. So when you cut the head off and call it my sons, meaning you're not God's sons, you're my sons. And Sybil, who was really ancient Lilith, who is the queen bee to all the beasts of the field, through her abominable practices, she pollinates the world. You pollinate the world and bring her your pollen throughout your kingdoms, and you bring it to her hive, and you lay your pollen or your gifts at her feet, so she can make what? Her honey or her money. That's what they say. If you ain't getting no money, you ain't getting no honey. Ain't that right? Ain't nothing going on but the rent. So the J.O.B., you gotta be a busy bee if you wanna be with me. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. If you wanna be with me, you gotta be busy bee. Yeah, y'all know that song. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. You better take care of what? The beehive, nigga. Motherfucking females keep calling me, telling me bitches and shit, and telling me to shut the fuck up. I'm like, wow, for real? Wow, you think that's gonna make me want to shut up? I'm gonna tongue lash you even worse. I'm not that nigga that just let a motherfucking female see the fuck out of her mouth when I'm knowing this shit right here, this science, for her dumb ass self. We're talking about the black woman, period. All of you dumb as hell, and the black man. Because it's a science, according to Babylon. And then they told you was a black Jew. Now you're using the Bible law. Now you become Babylonians. Christian, Islam, all got the same ice god in that motherfucker. And your Egypt Scientology with Kwanzaa, with your Africa garbs on. Where's the time is it? Cold. Ice god. What they do in Angola? Why did they go to Angola? Because they created an Angolan currency called Kwanzaa. And you, African Americans, as usual, is Kwanzaa. You are a Christian. You are Islam. Why? Because that is a money talk. And when you go into the Christian or Islamic era or the Kwanzaa era, you exchange the human into money. So they can't carry all these niggas on my back. Hey, just take this birth certificate. What's on there? A new nigga. We're going to create a new debt with these niggas here. What's these ones? These ones we're going to call African Americans. Yeah. Since they can't tell you, I'm going to tell you. They said, yeah, we're going to call these ones African Americans. So how are you going to get these motherfuckers to do that? How are you going to teach a dog new tricks? Simple. Simple. You put it on a job application and the credit card. You get you a rapper and somebody you might want to make famous. And he'll promote in their churches how good it would feel to be African American, no longer black or Afro American. Well, I think that was the most healthy one latest was the Afro, the natural American. Where you buy that one? I buy that. Afro American, I would buy that. We would buy that. Afro American, more power. We'll take that. Okay? If you don't want Afro Asiatic, You at least take Afro-American. We would rock with that. As long as we're the natural man of the planet or the continent, cool. I'm an Afro-American. We'll take that. And part of Afro-America, there's three tribes that I'm part of, my blood. It's the Blackfoot Afro-American and the Cherokee Afro-American. We'll take that. We'll run with that too. We will run with that too. But these touchers, these masons, these pedophiles, who protect these pedophiles, what's your kinfolk? Who protect these pedophiles, these my sons. Now this is what a mason is, these black Gentile nations. Farrakhan, black Gentile. Jesse Jackson, black Gentile. El Sharpton, black Gentile. If you are in a Christian movement or anything and you have a church leader or a rabbi or anybody who is part of a masonry or a mason, your teaching is from the Babylon or the Babylonians. How we know? Because the Bible was translated from what? Greek. And Greek did what? Got the information from Babylon. I.e. they created Alexandria, the greatest library in their history, which is to take all the world history and call it Alexandria. That's how they got advanced. They took what God scattered and put it in a Babylonian way. And so now we have the beast and the Babylonian together in bed, drinking the abomination of the whore, who rides the beast, literally, who come down to earth to the black man and black woman as Queen Bee, Beyonce. Alright. Check it out. I already posted it on Facebook. I think you might get it on Instagram. The fallen, the queen that fell from heaven. Venus, the bright morning star. Satan, the dual sex god, Baphomet, who's Venus and the beast. That's why he's an animal with male and female genders, with the above and below sign, because this is the science of warring against God. Book of Jasher, check it out. Read. Matter of fact, you can go to the Book of Jasher, just Google the story of Babylon and who said let's war against God. That was the original black man and the original black woman who created Egypt, who created Ethiopia, who created the original black on humanity crime. The dog didn't know anything about warring against God because he didn't have a God. He didn't worry about touching because he's an animal. Dogs touch each other on a regular. So with this science, the introduction of this name into the legend may be attributed to as Reverend Bro Woodford to an old assumption that rulers were patrons of the building Sidolites. I mean, I think they colluded, and would be the modern word for they colluded of building this. They were patrons of building this thing. I rather imagine that the idea may be traced to the fact that Nimrod was supposed to be a patron of architecture in the building of a great number of cities. So now you understand where the Greeks and the Romans got their city building from, and where Europe got her city building from, and why there's pyramids all over the planet, because this was a city building. They built pyramids all over the planet, because that's the way they built their cities. All right, that was their iconography, what there is to Statue of Liberty today. All right, or a cell tower, or an Eiffel Tower. Okay, but this one is a pyramid, because when the light hit the cap, it spreads out in 4 places. Just like when the sun hits your pineal gland, it goes between both hands and your feet, 4 corners of the earth. That's why you walk like this. If you take a star, you gotta go like this. So that's how you walk in heaven. Take the top. You get it? Alright. It says, build a great number of cities. The medieval operative masons, the touchers, because we know there was some abominations going there. We know that for a fact. I.e. Sodom and Gomorrah, or the word sodomite, or sodomize. Alright? And killing your mother and your father, so we get matrimony. Matro meaning your parents, or maternal. Matricide. He says you're supposed to be faced that. Nimrod was supposed to be the patron of architecture, builder of great numbers. Okay, I get that. We read that. The medieval operative masons were always ready to accept in any distinguished architect or building as a patron and member of the craft. Alright? So this is a craft now. Thus, the history of masonry compiled by Dr. Anderson out of the old records is nothing but a history of architecture and almost every king, prelate, or nobleman who had erected a palace, a church, or a castle is called a distinguished Freemason and a patron of the institution. Who erected a palace, a church, or a castle. What do a church, castle, and palace have in common? You need somebody to come in and maintain it. You need some black and some white people. And to keep them from nibbling around the palace, you must keep them busy with competition and fantasy. Behold the pale horse, get that. The silent war. This is why you love black man, black Jesus. You love hating God, literally. Just the sheer fact that you said African American or black, and then don't do the history of the first black man and black woman. And the first civilized black man and black woman decided in their hearts the audacity to want to go and remove the God of life from where he sits prior to you being created. That's amazing, black man and black woman. And then this black man and black woman took his grandchildren and changed their names to fit the beast system to African American. Changed their names to African American and sold it. Now you're a debt. You're a new debt to England. You're a new debt to England.
Do you want me to clock it or not?
Sure. We don't stop the hustle. No, we don't. This is a bigger picture. This is a team. This is a team thing. It's a we program. Cause I ain't scared to say on camera I need you. I do. Need my mama. You know. Just like I need you guys. We might not get along, we might not agree on every motherfucking thing, but I want the best for you. And I would pray you want the best for me. There's always a way to want the best for somebody. You know why? Because you're going to need them one day. Not because for the sake of being weak or vulnerable, it's for the sake of that's the way life works. But yeah, touchers and masons. And so I found out that it was the black mason that promoted beating women, abusing women, raping them, you know, was leaving certain women who've been victimized by the Mason bullshit and behind the religion and oaths and protecting these motherfuckers behind y'all religion, castle, church, and palace access. We have some women still scarred out here that haven't healed. Because if there was domestic violence, like if domestic violence today was back in the 50s and the 40s, look, black America would be a whole lot different. But you could get away with that back then, Black Mason, my son, my nigga, my bitch, my dog, my savage, 33, I'm bossy, young and stupid, I'm rich, bitch, I like getting it in the booty, because that's what rich means, Dick, Richard, all synonymous to being screwed. Those that was out to screw you were not men or women of the Creator. Touchers. And it's so sad because it's turning the womb of life into wanting to be a man. The woman's turning to not wanting to be natural anymore, i.e. brain healthy babies to praise the Most High and nurture the earth. So we have something to come the fuck back to. But so there was a resurrection or a rebirth or something, the fuck you gonna come back to? You fucked it up already. You had a chance while you was alive to fix it, and now you want to be resurrected and some shit to come back in. Now you want to resurrect something you ain't helped fix? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Think about it. If you help destroy people in this life, and you want to resurrect, don't you think the damage of destroying somebody reflects the frequency throughout creation, and that affects other people because of what happened to them? So if a person thinks that it's okay to take the pussy, take a child's innocence, kill a man for no fucking reason, for real, and say because I am a Mason, so I'm allowed to touch you like that. And the police can't do nothing because there's an agreement that they judge their own. And so if I want my Mason, my nigga, had to go to jail for raping and touching your people, what business it is yours? We got our own gods, i.e. we're going to war against God, take him off his throne, and we'll become gods, and we'll set our gods up there, up in the heavens. And that's where the Greeks get Venus, Uranus, Pluto, and all that being gods, and making statues in their likeness. What did Egypt do for their likeness? They resemble what God made them into, half man and half beast. So it would be natural for the evolved black monkey nigga and the black elephant bitch, obesity, monkey see, monkey do, turn one man against his own neighbor, i.e. black on black crime, and then scatter the rest, i.e. Israel, those who wrestle with God. Get out of Babylon. That makes sense? That sound familiar? Israel, why I scattered you before when you was in Babylon. Get out of Egypt. Ain't that why I sent you there in the first place? So you could remember. Now you're going to come personal. Now I'm going to pull you all personal and show you your ignorance. Your disrespect, motherfucker. I'm going to make you even smaller. And say, this is what's going to happen. And so you're going to see a third of Israel go to hell, and a third going to get their new names called Hebrew Muslims. That's the new name. We're not wrestling with the Most High. We crossed over like our father Abraham, and now we submit, i.e. prostrate, Muslim. Prostrating. I'm not standing up praying. I'm getting on my hands and knees. I'm rolling in the dirt. Fucker. See, I need you, Papa. This dirt, this body can go where it need to go. But my heart, my spirit cry out from you, the living spirit. But these black Masons, these black Gentiles, they want you in their palace, the White House. I'm a doctor. I'm in this, that, or that. And yes, you can get in our palace one day. You can be anything you want, boys and girls. You can be the next black president. Well, we got to create a mind state first before you can be president. I didn't catch that. You can be whatever you dream. You dream of a black president, and that's exactly what they gave you. The first African American president who so happened to be gay. Newsweek magazine said that. I have the pictures. So you dreamed up a black president, and they gave you the first gay black president. They said, what's on your mind now? What's the next? What you want now? I told you I'm God. What you said you want a black president, we got you one. You want a black woman one? Well, let's go take a little bit of work. We got Biden in there. We got some white niggas that want dreams fixed. We got to get them Biden in there. And Condoleezza, I think that's her name. I don't know. I don't know these people. So they fuck their names up. Not intentionally, but out of ignorance. I told you I don't know everything. So, I blackened on what I got on my screen. The black Gentile nations. With their churches and their palaces and castles. Because in Islam, they have what? Palaces. In Christianity, they have churches. And in politics, they have noble man. Alright? As in the Nobel Peace Prize winner. These are the Masons. Alright? Legend of the Craft. Alright? 3 tools, 3 prongs of the devil. One of his tools, one of the pointers of fishing for men is in masonry. Build their minds up to take these oaths and things and never tell them about the legend of the craft. Never tell them the legend. Alright? Geometry. Never let them know that we put them in this box. And we turned the box into a circle and put them in a thing called time zones. And at this particular time they get up, at this particular time they go to sleep, eat, breathe, this and that. That is our geometry. Now our architecture is the third prong. Geometry is the middle. Architecture could be the left or the right of the prong, the devil's pitchfork, or the trident. That's why you see black people with a trident or a Greek symbol, like Eddie Long, who passed away from being lifted up by the people of the craft, or the legends of the craft, that God killed his ass. He got shriveled up like the witch. And no, the truth, no, not the truth. And that motherfucker wiggled away like the witch from the land of Oz. So the flying monkeys are out flying around with no leader. There's nothing to be narcissistic about. Here we go. Here we go. So, these black devils, these black Gentile nations, alright, who's gotten bed with the beast. See, that's why it says Babylon, the black man, the black woman, who rides what? The beast. The wolf man, the dog man, was up in the mountains. How we know? Because the Moors promote that they went up there and was told not to go up there messing with the wolf people. Because they're up there, they're barbaric. They have sex with their sheep and other animals, man. And they will poke you in the booty. And they'll convert you in the booty poke game. And you'll be having sex with them. They told them thousands of years ago. These ancient dog people, man, I'm telling you, they like that hump. You ever see your dog be humping on your leg? That's why it's called doggy style. We didn't talk like that. Because we didn't doggy style. You know. And we learned to lick putang. But if you're a dog, when you say dog pussy. Alright? If you're a bitch, when you say bitch pussy. Because these animals are literally four-legged dogs and animals with a like to lick pussy. So knowing that the nature of the dog doesn't have to be horny, the dog doesn't need ethics, the dog doesn't need dog food or anything. He runs out the house, he's sitting on the dog, he's licking balls and pussy off the rip. And if it tastes good, y'all cool. And if you'll turn around and grind your teeth, y'all really cool. And you'll greet each other by smelling each other's ass. So yeah, that's my nigga. That's my bitch. It's a smart ass. So yup, that's my yeah. And another one steps out is Babylon. If you're reading your Bibles, you understand that Babylon is where you get Islam, the old time religion of the legend, the worship of the moon goddess, Ilah, I-L-La. And so they took Allah, when they translated, and said, fuck it. This sounds alike. Who gives a fuck? Because they do it to this very day. So that's nothing new. You know what I mean? We see that every day. Like, they try to get away with saying that Moses changed somebody else's son's name to Joshua. For real? Like, what was wrong with Hosea? If I change my name, and we're trying to do good deeds so my son could enjoy the things that we enjoy on earth, and somebody changed my name, he can't get my shit. Why? Because the new shit that I've done, somebody changed my fucking name. So here Ralph didn't know that was really me. You see what I'm saying? And that's what my sons and touchers do. They like to fuck shit up. They like to fuck God's will up. And pay you for it. And get paid for it in their palace, church, or castles. England, castle. America, church, palace, Islam. These are the three things that are used as to catch the men, the fish worship, the 3 pillars of the dawn, dove worship, when the dove came down on their Jesus, on their Venus, when Zeus came down as a dove and impregnated Mary. There's a story with that, about these touchers, that even Zeus was up here shape-shifting and taking innocent pussy. In the beginning of the Bible, the fallen ones came down and took women. So the Masons always would swoop down on the black man and black woman and destroy and take our women. Now they're taking the women's minds, their dignity, their peace. Zeus has come down in the form of Jesus. He didn't come down in the form of Islam to the so-called black man or black woman, and taking our children like the great eagle that he is today, that I love so much. Folks need to stop fucking around, stop playing. We know who you are. We're telling you what you're doing. You literally are telling the whole world that you hate God when you say you're African American or black. Because the first black man who created Africa America out of thin air said it's a craft, a legend. And we have a race of Masons that anybody can be one. Why? Because it is a tower of Babylon. Now it's a mental tower, a spiritual tower. It has life now. They put life in the hell tower. They buy the life by creating the black African American. You are the life of Babylon, and you are the life of Babylon. And that's why Moses said you should not live no longer than 120 years. In them 120 years, sooner or later you would die out by your own hands. Why? Because you said in your heart, we're going to be like God. And we'll put our gods in place of the true living God. And we'll kick him off his throne. That sounds like some nigga shit. I'm going to go up to this motherfucker's crib. It's called a home invasion. Here you go. The black man and black woman will get together. Well, they did. They got together to do a home invasion on the God of the living. Here's a new story to Lucifer and Satan. We didn't even talk about that. We're talking about the black man and the black woman. Lucifer and Satan ain't got nothing to do with this at all. That's the mystery. That's why I took it out the Bible. That's why I took certain books out. Because you would make that connection. That it is the black Gentile who created the white Gentile. Who created a human kind of Gentile. Who was from the Canine tribe. And their star is the Canis constellation. The dog star. So it makes sense. They brought heaven and the earth. They brought the dog down to earth in the form of a man. They shaved all his fur off, put a crown on him, and said, I'm Jesus. Ta-da! Ha, 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 ha. Hey, hey, ha, ha, ha. Fuck me, Jesus, fuck me. Party and sex with you, huh? Virgin pussy. Let's just touch all the virgin babies, huh? Let's just touch all the virgin women, fuck it. We're gonna take the pussy, huh? Thank you. Thank you, holy Zeus. You unholy motherfucker. You just took the virgin pussy, huh? You ain't want to wait for man to get in it. You beat him to the punch. That sounds like when Satan got to Eve before Adam did. Adam was happy in the mouth when he came back to the crib. Was like, oh man, this is some nigga shit. Somebody to fuck my wife before I got a chance to smell the pussy. You touchers. We know who your father is, you touchers. You know, you're gonna be removed. You jive motherfuckers, man. Because you know, we get into it first. We'll put the real life in them. You get to it, and you give them the undead shit. You got to die to live. Fucking with you, black man and black woman. And I'm watching this shit because I'm watching people, the elders die, and then all of a sudden, they'll go get their money. Ain't been around when they live, but talk shit after they dead, and all of a sudden you're important now. The fuck was that when they was alive? Mason, my son, your children. They wait till your elders die and then play like, yeah, I've been hustling and my business been successful. You lying motherfucker. Half the elders of your family died. They so happen to feel bad for you, left you some shit. That's what I'm trying to figure this shit out. Only reason why the elders leave their certain family members shit, because they feel bad for them. Because they're going to suffer. And so to keep from suffering, they got to leave them some shit. And I'm so thankful that nobody had to feel bad for me. That they had to leave me some shit before they died. So, because they didn't believe I could take care of myself. So that gives a new spin of, my man left me this when he died. And, yeah, he left that because he sort of knew that you ain't no fucking hustler for real. But you tried hustling after your grandma died or your wife got murdered, and you took the insurance policy, bought some coke, got on Facebook. Now you the next Beanie Siegel and shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm fucking some clowns. And how I know? Because you're a bitch dog. Got green and orange hair with extra long fingernails and eyelashes. Doing her Tina Turner dance, shaking her tail feathers for Ike. Not associated with Ike Ware, but we using Timothy Entertainer Ike. Big ups to Ike Ware, took them out on Center Avenue. Marty's Boutique, wonderful clothing. Wonderful, get some new designs coming. Get some new designs too, check him out. Wonderful man, wonderful man. And so, now that we mentioned that, this has no connotation to all those who's practicing a craft for the greater glory of the Most High and humanity. Not for your palace, church, and castle and self-indulgence, but because you care. Because you care. And it hurts, right? Because when I'm watching these women who've been abused still hurt, even though they look good and da-da-da-da, no understand the lashing out and the yelling and always complaining and shit. Because it's a defense. It's a wall. And if I don't cuss you out and talk bad about you before you hurt me, because if you hurt me, I've already told people that you ain't shit. Even though it hasn't happened, it's just the fact that I've already put it out there. And so that's an extra wall. That's an invisible wall. And that keeps you from penetrating or thinking that you're going to abuse that person. That's the tactic behind that. Nigga, fuck you, bitch ass, and call the police because you said something, they want you out. It's because you're breaking through their mental security, their emotional security. They can't have that. Because the last time a motherfucker got behind that wall, he touched them in the wrong way. He abused them, and then went back to another woman or went to another woman, and vice versa to the man, to the woman to the man. And so now we become male, females, and we run to this black culture, or this African American get. And we go buy houses and shop till we drop. All these cars and jewelry and fancy dogs. Because the Baphomet, the Satanists, the slanderers. See, how we know the black man and the black woman is a devil? Because the word in itself is slanderous against God. The one who created that word in their heart created that word so you can go against God. Think about it. I'm gonna use a word. Listen, if I hated the Most High, and I knew, and I had to find some way to stab the Most High, how would I stab the Most High? It would be in his heart. What's the closest thing to a person's heart? The creation. Understand that? When you create a baby, let somebody destroy your baby, and that will shake your inner world. Right? So you're going to protect your baby at all costs, because you know what the stages of a baby for an adult. You've already ordered its steps. So we say, Father Yah, please order our steps as we practice being a Hebrew Muslims. We cross over from the darkness into the light to submit to your divine will and attributes in nature. That we're to be the image of something that we can't see, but reflect that image to people who we can see. That story sounds a lot more logical. It's more doable. We don't have to run to the church of the black Gentile nations. We have to run to the palace of the black Gentile nations in the castles of the first black Gentile nations of Europe. Castle. Since you want to be the first black European, castle, Mason. Since you want to be the first black religion, Islam, palace. Since you want to be the first black African American on the continent of what they call America today, church. And these Masons of these three religions and places, and it's nothing but a history of architecture, and almost every king or prelate or nobleman, or you say you're kings and queens and gods and goddesses, and noble, like Noble Drawley, and noble this and noble that, Nobel Prize winner, and see, these are all Masons of Babylon. These are my sons, says the devil, Baphomet. And in these three places, palace, church, and castle, there are touchers, pedophiles, rapists, blood drinkers. How we know? Because drink my blood in remembrance, and eat my body as bread. We know somewhere in England, there's child trafficking. In America, child trafficking. In Islamic Arabia, child trafficking. We're not saying anything bad or good, we're just breaking the seal now. This is the seal, the trumpet is blown. He said, well, who will break the seal? We said, okay, I will. So we're breaking the seal. The prophecy to fulfill, we're breaking the seal now. We know exactly who hates God now. We know exactly what they do. We know exactly who is the Christ. Because I'm definitely the Antichrist, because you wouldn't know Christ unless the Greeks translated it and told you that this is Christ. And that the Antichrist, which is those people who love God. The black Gentile nations created the Christ consciousness. The black Islam, Christ conscious. Alright? The black Orthodox or Rasta noblemen did this. So we know exactly what that means. That's why the cornerstone, the one they reject, is not on the pyramid. It's not in the pineal gland. The Son of God literally is not there. They're not getting the information. Today is 322, which is their skull and bones. The highest of their sun god now. Alright, now they're bringing the sun, the real sun, and personify it. So there's going to be a blood ritual today. So be careful about your children, man. Watch both sides of the street. Somebody might get hit by a car today. You know what I mean? There'll be some weird shit might be happening. You might hear in the news. Might be a new breakout of something. Mass demands might come back up. Now, I'm not prophesying, we're just saying some weird shit's about to happen because this is this day of their bee worship. The spring's coming in, their bee god symbol. I wouldn't be surprised if Beyonce, remember we told you that the church of Beyonce is brewing up because she is what? The queen bee, Queen Beyonce. Alright, you'll be surprised if you see black and gold coming up. Teams with black and gold. Don't be surprised. That is an ancient Babylonian thing. Because you're in America and across the planet. Because remember, he scattered them, those who were left, thinking about, so if you remember the black man and black woman who warred against God. So they have that in their minds. And so in their cities, and they built more temples all over the planet, when the other people went against God in the form of Jacob, the one he wrestled with an angel. He didn't wrestle with a damn angel. He had a decision to make. And he didn't make it. And he said, you wrestle with God. That was your punishment. Your children would wrestle with God, and they would call Israel. And that was part of his punishment. That's why there's only one bright light who would not wrestle with God, and that was Joseph. That's why Joseph would wrestle, would rule his brothers. Why? Because his brothers is the Israelites. They wrestle with God. So Joseph had to do what? Take them to the promised land, out of Babylon, or out of Egypt. So if America is the Babylonian capital, not New York, not San Francisco, but the capital. America is their capital. In the capital, in the tower, is New York. In the tower is Black America. In the tower, Islam. In the tower is one of the best war machines. You can fight anything with the tower being protected and using everything in the tower as a weapon to shoot out at God. So that's why everything seems like you're boxed in. You can't get out. No matter how many levels you go up on the pyramid or the tower, there's no cap. There's nothing there. You guys who are left in the Mason thing had to sit down for a minute. Those of you who took the Mason oath, you've already committed to whatever it is, that's one finding wonderful. Happy hustle. But the pedophilia and the abuse of the woman. If your women like that, that's something different. But you can't keep protecting those things. Those touches, man, is going and raping folks, man. You get to hand them over. Then you fucking up the babies. I don't see no masonry or geometry or no healthy architecture, man. I think the best building blocks is a healthy baby, a healthy teenager, a healthy child, who becomes a healthy man and woman, not a victim. Come on, I'm born in your sin, and Christ is going to fix this. Knowing damn well you ain't fixing shit. And then flip the script and say the white man did it, and then flip that script and say the black man did it, where the black and white man are the same fucking thing. You just leave the people to color themselves in. Well, I'm black, well, I'm white, well, I'm this and I'm that. That's alright, just stay in this box. When I let you out to fight with the flying monkeys that you are, you ought to do my bidding. And y'all come on back like the good black African Americans you are, like they programmed you. That's why you won't be able to get anything done. When you realize that you're supporting people next to you, left to the right, that's the same color skin you are, when you realize that you're supporting their shit, their wickedness, and their ultimate goal is to figure some way to stab God in his heart some more by using his creation. And he told his children that you're just like them, and I've scattered you like I scattered those. Used to be my children. So that's why they can't see my face. I'm not Israel, you can't see my face. You're a black man, black woman, you can't see my face. Why would I show you my face? Why would I show you anything? You've already told yourself and everything on the planet that you want to war against me. You want to take me from my crib. You want to come up to where I'm at. I'm chilling on my throne, minding my business, and you're over there plotting to dethrone me. Now you got my attention with it. I giggled at that shit for a minute. Like, it was ha 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 ha, you know. Maybe he just high. Maybe maybe I put too much on the mushrooms this season. We call Earth. Hey honey, what you doing out here? Did you overdo the mushrooms this season? Cause these motherfuckers out here got some funny ass jokes. What's that? They talking about they're gonna dethrone me and put your gods up here with me. I'm thinking they're joking. I don't know, honey. They I ain't do it. Mother Earth said, no, my fruits is just as way they supposed to be. Alright, babe, click. They call wisdom. Hey, wisdom. Let's get her off the phone with Mother Earth. What's up with these niggas, man? Did you get the memo? I just got back to me that a group of niggas, right, is building some shit. Come up here and dethrone me. Wisdom was like, I don't know nothing about that shit, player. I ain't got wind of none of that. I'd have been the first ones to deter that. He said, no, I'll just maybe before I could give it some attention, I had to make sure, y'all had nothing to do with this. We had a different conversation. Alright, cool. Most had sun, thunder, rain, earthquakes on it before he's coming. This is some bullshit. You gonna come up here, fuck my shit up? Let me see what the fuck you down here doing. Let me see what weapons you forming against me. What's I saying there? to you black African Americans. Says the black African American, man. Says the black African American. We gonna go up here and war against God. We are our own gods. I made the name of God. Look at me. We ain't worshiping no motherfucking sky daddy. Shit, we got the sun god Ra and Isis, and yeah, we got Egyptian kings, and we got pyramids with no caps on. What the caps? I don't know, but it's our pyramids. Well, you don't know who robbed you? No, it was a thief in the night. You know, it was a thief in the night. And my Imam Bilal voice. The day kept fall. Check out AMIC, All Muslim International Communication Centers. Check them out. Try to remember Farouk. He's on my Facebook. What's up, brother Farouk? I think he's Indian. No, Pakistani. What's up to all the righteous practicing Pakistanians out there? What's up to all the righteous people who are practicing righteousness, no matter what you call yourself? There's another episode of What It Do, not what it's talking about. What It Do. I'll be the man. That's how you know what it do. What it do, what it do. Oh shit. What it do? So we know the mission of the black Islamists, of the black nation. Now we know. It's no longer a mystery now. It's no longer a mystery Babylon, but a new name called the Babylon. Because I could never understand why you say that the Arabs or the Muslims is terrorists, but you both get Jesus and the story of Mary in the same book. I mean, the same story in each book, and then call each other terrorists. So what it sounds like, that the son that was weird. The sun and the moon don't want to get together in unison under the fertility god Ishtar. This is what we're coming into, the birth of and resurrection of the undead. I.e., Jesus said, walk with me. These are the dead. These are the people of the dead. Now you're alive with this Mason. And now you're Freemason. It says it's called a distinguished Freemason and the patron of the institution. So you're institutionalized, black man and black woman. You don't need a jail cell or a cell phone. They literally put you in a box, market you, and institutionalized you at the same thing. Not only that you're in a mental box, but you have you or dying in a physical box, jail cell. What's left of you is you're melting in a cell box, cell phone box, with your arrogance, making yourself more abominable before God and men and Mother Nature. So why would the sun shine on you instead of a dog's ass? Think about it. But since you call yourself dogs and bitches, you get a little bit of sun in your face. But what's left of them, they're putting mascara, they're covering up their wickedness. Most High is making a lot of you motherfuckers ugly as hell, for real. And that's why you're going through the makeup or the mascara. In your heart, you're ugly as fuck, black man or black woman. And you need a gold chain to defy you, to define you. You need a bunch of other niggas that think like you to define you. Without that, you will not survive in the black world. You will not survive in the La La land, in the land of Nod, where Cain was sent away from God. For what? Killing his brother. And what? Spilling blood on the earth. He pushed him away. So every rap record and song that you promote, killing somebody, spilling blood, you have been pushed away from God and ran into the hands of your mother. Man did. The one that says, come as you are, you can be a male and a female at the same time. You can rape, have sex with animals, and be saved by the Son of God. And since they put their gods up in the sky already before you niggas was born, you don't know what God you're really talking to. That motherfucker is androgynous as hell. That dog is part man, woman, male, female, so many different species, insects. You got a tree stuck up his ass. You got a deer horn in his nose, called body piercing. You got insects in his fur. You know. Y'all call it lice. They call it food, because the monkeys will pick the lice out of each other's head and eat it. So that's food. You got a monkey god, a baboon in Egypt. You get a canine dog in Egypt who told you he's the god of the death of the underworld. Anubis, the jackal. In your Bible it tells you the jackal and the satyr, which is a half man and half woman, or half man and half horse and half man. Not a minotaur. Minotaur is a half bull and half man. A satyr is a half man and half horse. And that's why you want women with horse asses, and that's why you have people with long pony tails. So you are the satyr that was in the castle, in the church, and in the palace that was prophesied in the book of Isaiah. I told you we would open up the seals for you. You thought this was a game? You touchers and you Ma sons or May sons. You can hide under your religion and behind your palace and church and castles all you want to. But the light is on you now. Because in your symbolism it says, let there be light. Well, here's the light of the truth, man. From your own mouth. Let there be light. The light of truth. So no, that seal is open. And since you shined your best light on the world, now we're going to shine the best light on the world. Literally. So you can't hide your ideas, your motivation. You can't breathe this anymore. Now the virus is out now. The Antichrist is out. The virus is out. And yes, he will have charisma. He will be for the people. He will be all those things, the opposite of your Christ, who in the beginning hate God, and his whole desire is to destroy God's heart for his creation. And that is the man and woman. The natural American, Afro-American, the natural Afro-Asiatic, the natural man born from the land of the rising sun. Who don't sun worship, but the sun serves us. That's why we have the same plasma as the sun, because we're relatives. That's not our slave. That's our relative. I love to be a servant to my brothers and sisters. That doesn't make a motherfucker a slave. Makes him a brother or a sister. Makes you family. When you want to serve with a happy heart. But Masons, these Freemasons, they have a science and the laws of Hammurabi. But in order for the Hammurabi's laws to take effect, you have to deny God, His glory, and put your own gods up there and worship their gods. I.e., if you didn't worship Roman gods, you got what? Murder. If you didn't become a Christian, you got what? Slaughter. Why? Because their God was in heaven, called Mars, giving his frequency to the Romans as the god of war. And Mercury. And that's when they created the god Nike, because they had conquered the children of God, who was teaching and giving the oracle. And that's how you get these Qumran cave information and all these other things. There's thousands of writings that are still underground. But since we don't have time to go turn the whole planet upside down and dig them out like gold, that they are, the Spirit says I reveal to those that are responsible for it. Because the sun was there when it was first happening and being written. So the sun will give you that information where you don't have to go in the sky and say, where's it at? You don't have to go to the bottom of the earth and burn up by lava. You get it? You don't have to die by gas. You don't have to go to a college and spend all your energy for nothing. You don't have to take a hypocritical oath and be Dr. Reverend Big Hat. You don't have to submit to an old nigger Arab because you didn't bow down 15 times while your fucking house is in shambles. You know, not saying it's bad or good, but hey, if you're praying all day in your heart, what's 7 times a day gonna do? If you wake up and live what you're praying, there's no need to do that. But when you're ready to submit and prostrate, then everything is in order. Even your chaos, even in chaos, every chaos is part of an order. Because sometimes to make sure something stays stable, you have to keep a little bit of chaotic going on. A healthy chaos, not a destructive. Only people who see chaos as in using any destructive meaner is those who eat from the tree of good and evil. They got you kicked out of the garden in the first place. They got you knocked off the hill, took the cap off your pyramid. That's why I talk in caps. That's why I type in caps. He said, why you type in caps, you yelling? No, I'm not. I'm supposed to talk in my best thinking cap. I'm supposed to wear my best thinking cap at all times. It's called stand on your game, stand on your D. You know? It's fucking Masons and touchers, man. I didn't know this nigga was a toucher, man. Wonder why he can't come back up to the hood and shit. I'm like, man, come up to the hood, man. No, I'm not going up there. Why, man? Ain't nothing but businessmen up there. You know what I mean? Nobody sit up there begging for money and feeding and shit. I mean, You get some folks that's been around here, and because you know we're peaceful people, you know, if we need a dollar or two, no problem if we sit there for an hour or two, man, bump up $10, 20 or so, do what they need to keep from robbing or hurting somebody. Cool. But you sit up there and beg for money all day, to buy drugs, and they fill up the stores and they plotting on the shops and get busted on some other shit and want to tell them you just keep motherfuckers away from that. I mean, just. But I just found out this nigga was a toucher, man. This what sparked this video. Because he's bragging about this Mason shit and this Moors, this shit. You know what I mean? I'm hearing all this braggadocious shit. These black religious dudes is becoming a contest for souls for African Americans. They're conjuring up a new marketing name. Just looking for a name to sell, and they need somebody to kill first. If you notice, after every murder of somebody, it sparks a new black identity. First was the black man, black movement, boom, boom, boom. And it turned to black African American, became a black Afro American. You know what I mean? So they're looking for a new name. It was supposed to be Black Lives Matter, but they didn't understand that the name black was already bought by the LGBT. That's why they said black is the new orange, meaning the new rainbow. They bought that. I didn't know that. Black was a corporate name. You were just a soul. It's like this. Now you understand a golem, alright? A golem is a shell. And that's what they call you niggas golems. Because you're just a shell to them. And what do with a shell? You find stuff in the pouring. The Most High said, I will pour my spirit in all flesh. The black Gentile nation said, we're going to beat you to it. We're going to put our spirit in this flesh. I said, well, how are you going to do that? We said, one, you have to get them to believe in something. You have to set up an idol. The black woman and the black man loves an idol. They love to worship something. And they will compete on who's the best idolater. And they'll have sex rituals and babies under this idol and under this title. And you give them a identification for the best idolater. You say, okay, that's clever. You create a leader of their interests. And you let him win their hearts. And you make a martyr of him. And so now we capture their emotion. That is the architecture or the geometry in it. The masonry part's already done is your physical body. That's the mason part. That's the brick. The geometry is now psychological. It's like the psychology. I had to find some way to put you in time and space according to the circle. That's why you have 33 degrees out of 360 degrees. Because the ones who have the full circle of this plan rule by making sure there's only 33 degrees. These are the ones who rule over the oligarchies and stuff. I went that direction for some reason. Yeah. So now they're waiting for the Antichrist. Who are they going to kill next? That's why it's always the black man or the black woman running to the gatekeeper, the Pope, But he had the eyes in the skies to pinpoint where it's the people of the Antichrist. You see the flip side of it? An onward Christian soldier. And if Jesus doesn't separate the Son from the Father, it collapses. If you don't kick the man out the house, the whole Christian kingdom crumbles. It crumbles, literally. And so, Jesus must kick the man out the house because the man is made by God. The black man is made by God, Jesus. That's why God, Jesus, is going to save the black man and the black woman from who? The people of God and God himself. I'm saving you from fucking with God. I'm saving you from the God of life, and I want you to enjoy this life, this sun, this dark sun, this black sun. There's a religion and a cult and a society called the Children of the Black Sun. It's still bright like the sun, but in nature it's black. So it's what? Elusive. Not elusive, deceptive. And the children of the black sun, you can see their deception over humanity. And they call these other guys, they're minions, they're despicable ones, the legend of the crab. And they go down as what they call it, the Legion of Doom. Because there's nowhere you can go for a Mason not to find you. So you're either protected by God or you're protected by Masonry, by the Masonries or by the Masons. You're either protected by the Most High or you're protected by Babylonia. That's the choice right there. Who's your rock? Is it the Masons or the people of the truth? The children of the Most High Yah, who literally desires the Most High, who walks with them on their head 24/7. And the 24 elders are the 24 hours. We talk about geometry and architecture and mathematics. See the between the children of the true sun versus the children of the black sun. They darkened or they blackened. That was once beautiful. And so now the 24 elders, if your mind is on God at 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 o'clock in the day, let's exchange with the horizon and dawn. And you have the 12 hours who watches at night. So there's another 12 elders. 12 and 12 is what? 24 elders who bear witness that you literally have God on your mind. You have His 10 Commandments on your mind. They can bear witness. That's your witnesses at the time of judgment. And you turn one eye and say, is that not? You say, yep. And just nod. They won't even talk to you. You just nod. That unspoken word that created the universe in the first place. In the beginning was the word. No, the fuck it wasn't. I had some shit on my mind, motherfucker. And then she wasn't no words. My syllable was ain't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I speak one syllable. It's 1,000 years just in one syllable. So if I was to say a word, you couldn't even get it. Unless I made it possible. You know? But since I'm not that complicated, there's no need for that. So I was just getting pictures. My fault for me. And I'm reading this because I'm looking at the screen, all right? And I'm internalizing this information that I get from, and I always like to share the source and the resource. So let me go to where I got that from. What's that thing? I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Praise the Most High. You got to give people their props, right? For their work in this thing. It's called the Universal Code-Masonry. This is written, let me see. Home history of Freemasonry, the historical origins of Freemasonry, the legend of Nimrod, alright, with the red cape, or Esau, the red man. That is to defy the teachings of Shem. Alright. We know that Nineveh was despicable, so Nimrod built Nineveh. So they have a whole history. Alright. It's Kenny's Encyclopedia and Voice Nimrod. Smith something. Smith Chaldean Account of Genesis was a resource, they say. So it's in the book of Genesis concerning that. But yeah, you have any questions about them guys? So if you want to go against God and keep on doing what you're doing, I'll give you the information. I told you we don't hate. Dapperlicious.com. At least if you're going to be one, at least know what you're getting into universally. Because Catholic means what? Universal. So the Universal Catholic Church, or the Universal Masons, remember, Catholic means universal. The Catholic Church. The Universal Church, the Universal what? Company of Masonry. So they don't have a CO dot, but they have a CO dash. P.O. Box 70, Lurkspur, Colorado, 8118, United States, 303-681-2028. So if you're going to be a Mason, you might as well be true to it. Be real with it. And that's where you get it from. You got the history. That it is Babylonian, which is modern Babylonian, what gives you your fancy cars and your big screen TVs, which is we thank the Most High to allow them to use their arrogance against them. Because really we're supposed to watch us, we're using it to watch them. We don't need wings. We ain't gotta die. All we gotta do is not live like them and not support what they support. So that's we're gonna give credit to for that information. They wrote that, I got that from them. I'm just sharing the message. I am just a messenger. Don't kill the messenger. They put it on public view. It is for public reading and public use. We do not support plagiarism. Only thing we monetize is our work if we choose to. Alright? But if I happen to have something in there that may be sketchy on it, I don't mind breaking bread, because that's what it's for anyway. If you put some work into it, and I'm able to get a couple bucks off or whatever, even if it was $1, you can get 50 cents. No fuck. And I ain't saying that cause like arrogant and nonchalant. I look forward to doing that. Get to meet you and earn 50 cents. That's a proper win. You know, that's a win-win. Because the relationship is solid. I'm guaranteed to make another 50 cents. I'll put a quarter in the cut, put the other quarter in my pocket. See again, another 50 cents, put a quarter cut, quarter in the pocket. By the end of the year, I had about 3 bands and quarters. Or another 3 bands and quarters in my pocket. I done made 6 bands. You know? But also, I'm going to share this too, folks. You know what it takes a lot too? Seeing all this spandex here. Speaking of touchers and masons. We understand your weakness because you were thought the Most High. And so the restraint is not in you. Until you choose the Most High, you'll never stop being okay with every single woman on the planet in spandex. So now, this form associated with the woman, this form that first sends you straight to, because there are pictures, you see it everywhere, to her lower extremities instead of her listening for her mind. Preparing your brain for the pictures of the words that come out of her mouth. Like if somebody say something to me, I get pictures. I don't want the first picture of looking at some abs, or somebody having sex, or somebody killing somebody. Like, the pictures is fucked up. Those are fucked up pictures, man. Just click before you say something kind to the next person. Because remember, a picture paints 1,000 words. So, if you're a person like myself, who talk in pictures and see pictures and share what we see, that's a horrible conversation. You know, unless you speaking against it and you're not a part of it, so you can share that with somebody else. Like, hey, you might not want to keep picturing your mind or have been a picture in somebody's mind running around spandex all day in Walmart and you got a busy community in your front yard bending over for the mail. Like, those pictures is what create touchers, believe it or not. Putting pictures of your babies on the internet, those pictures to a toucher, that's a picture in their mind. And all you're doing is feeding the justification. That's what that is. You're feeding the justification of why I should, in my mind, possess you and begin to grab and fondle, and the more you fight, become that more excited, because that's part of my fantasy. Yeah, you gotta get in the mind of a toucher who is a mason, because they don't go by the same laws you go by. Understand that? Some laws are the laws of God. They don't go by laws of God, they go by their own laws. Because you got man's law and you get Mason's laws or my son's laws. I got laws for my sons. So you got man and you got Mason, my son. And if you read it, they say they got their own laws. And one of them is don't speak of our rituals and our attentions on the planet. And you cool. And you are to be dedicated to this brotherhood. Fuck your wife, your children. You are our son. And me, and by you taking this oath of you being my child, i.e. my son, or my son, or my son, alright? And even though Hiram Abiff built Solomon's temple, he still was a worker bee. Alright? He still was working. I don't know say that. And so he was busy working for Solomon, the Sun King. Saul. See what I'm saying? They said, why should we keep working for the Sun King and their children when we can build our own kingdom? My son, do it. So they began to build the Black Sun Kingship in the image of the Solomon Kingdom. And they would use the same people and change their names and change their history. And this is when the Greeks are on their way in now. The other ones who come back home to roost. That's where Farrakhan get that from. And so now the children of Babylon are coming back home to roost. That's why there's a place called Dabi, where the Arabs is at, is paved with nothing but what? Gold and glass and exotic animals. That's why Iran, or I think it's Iran, in Iran, or Dabi, Saudi Arabia, they just moved it just a little bit, or 33 degrees to a particular location. And that's why they have a luxurious society, because what? They are part of the original Babylonian order. And that's why America and the rest of the world is in bed with Saudi Arabia discussing resources according to the World Brotherhood, or the United Arab Nations, and the BRICS, the missions with Africa. But since Europe is the Sun Kings, or the Black Sun Kings, Islam is the moon people. When Christianity, the sun, and the moon get in bed and they breed a new religion or a new world order. And they made the Bible and the Quran into one book, i.e. Babylonian, Babylonian, or Babylonia, because everything is what was told in the Bible. The Bible is not a book where it was a bunch of prophecies. The Bible is a war book and a war plan that's hidden of a war agenda. The true story of the Bible is just came to me. Just the true story of the Bible. The Nicolaitans, these people who seen Babylon, was not part of the Babylonian story. Alright? The people from the north, who their border was the mountains. They couldn't get past the mountains. That was a wall. That was a border for them. They knew nothing of a way to get through there. They could not communicate. They had no language. And so, when they got scattered, when the Babylonians got scattered across the planet, they came across this ancient race, and they taught them how to be civilized at war. They taught them how to be civilized in eating people on the battlefield, decapitation on the battlefield, and how to drag the entrails of your victim on battle. So on the battlefield, you didn't have victims, but now you have victims on the battlefield. That's where the word victimize come from, because the wolf people, or this ancient race, they would kill a victim or their prey, and they would cut them in pieces and put them in bags and take them off and eat them later, aka barbecue, or barbarian Jew, or barbarous. So every time you see you're going to go barbecue, you're telling yourself that you are a beast, and you eat people, and you eat your children. That's where it comes from. Israel eats his what? Babies. Because of the barbarian or the barbecue cult or ritual, or the Babylonian was introduced to the culture. To the battlefield. So now, a she-wolf comes, because it's conscious like a dog. We already know that Babylon was practicing magic already. Witchcraft. They dealt with spirits and little demons. That it was a custom. That's the thing. Came to life through Rome, or Romulus. So the culture of Babylon, or Babylonian, was taught through Remus and Romulus. But they had a beast way of killing people. But they also had a knack for running in packs, if that makes sense. And so what Rome would do would make feudalisms so they could seem like many in the pack, but really they were a very small few. That's why in the Wizard of Oz, you can see this little motherfucker on his machine. Really, this little nigga was running the whole Wizard of Oz. All this time I thought I didn't have a brain. Yup, you got a brain. I ain't got no heart, but you always had a heart, yup. And the scarecrow. Oh no, the lion. You mean to tell me I always had courage? Yeah. Modern language. You mean to tell me I'm not black or African American? No. You mean to tell me I can walk this planet without being hated and people locking their doors? Yeah. You in the black market, then that's what happens to you. People get scared of people who's in a black market. Just in the word black itself make a presence here. Nope. Black what? Nope. You mean black cars or black shoes? Or a black person? Nope. I don't know what the fuck that is. Is that a talking teddy bear or something? Like, is that a talk? What type of toy is that? Is black person a toy? That's what we want. Who makes that toy? Because I don't see Parker Brothers mass producing. I don't even see them. What's that other toy maker? I don't see them ever making a black, literally a black doll. You know why? Because they'll get sued. If they created something politically correct, they would get sued. They will get sued. They will get sued. Now, if you touching on somebody that's black, you cool. If you're a Mason and you're a pedophile, you cool. If you are in the palace church, it's crazy. That's crazy. You call it what you want. That's crazy. Stumbling. Wow. Well, that's it for touches and maces, man. I'm just sick right. Well, I ain't sick right now. I was just sick of that here. I'm sitting here next to a toucher, man. You know what I mean? I didn't know. I'm over there doing music with him. I mean, I'm promoting, trying to promote the beats and shit, just to put him in a position to have more. Nah, I don't want no parts of that, man. I'm serious, man. Like, you're a fucking toucher, man. I hope somebody cut your dick off, man. Stick it right up in your mouth. And gouge your eyes out, man. And put it on camera and say, this is what happens to touchers, man. You're fucking with our children. It should be a gory way for a man who has sex with another man's wife knowing he's married. And you have sex with another man's wife. There should be a major punishment for that. Really. I don't give a fuck what she said or do. I don't give you the right to go in my motherfucking, into my motherfucking heart. You know? Same thing with her, you know what I'm saying? She messed with another woman's man. There should be a punishment for that. Really, there should be. But Mason say, fuck it for God's sake. Do it thou will. Don't give Aleister Crowley that task. He didn't make that up. The black man made that up. The Masons, the Nimrods, they said that. They said that shit. They said the black woman was goddess. Tricked her too. Said the black man was God. Tricked him too. Tricked him. I tell you why they let the pale skin make Jesus white. Because they already failed at making Jesus black. And here y'all going to go make Jesus black again. Come on, the machine. talking about not learning from your mistakes. You know what I mean? You created Jesus way back then. That shit didn't work. He turned you into monkeys and apes. Really, I was about to go fall asleep till that sparked me and shit. Real shit. So everybody talk about Bimmy Shimmy Ya, the black Jesus is coming back. You motherfuckers is funny. He always said he was coming back. He started off black. He came back white. He came back. He was already in Jerusalem. He got a prophet named Paul. And Peter, we said he denied the sheep 3 times and denied Christ 3 times. And when his dad denied God 3 times, he already told you, he told you, you got to deny the living God and follow Jesus. He said, okay, I got the picture. So that's what happened. That's what happened. And so they sit here. We failed at it. Maybe the beast can do it. Let's see if our new dog friends can do it. They understand language real well. They just can't talk it. But we just give them some symbols, like a cross, sign of a crescent, and stuff like that. Then maybe they'll associate these icons with a word that they can understand. They don't understand but a few words. But if you put enough symbols in there, you can talk to them through the symbols. They say, okay. They said, that's what Egypt did to these people. He said, yeah. Yeah, this is the hieroglyphs was for. Each thing made it easier for the animal people to read it when they come down into the thing, or what they call the tombs. And venerate their friend. Because what? The dog is man's best friend. And that's why the jackal has the keys to the underworld. Why? Because he's dog's best friend. So on earth, as it is in heaven, the dog is the black man's best friend. The dog is in everybody's what? Palace, church. Oh man. What else goes with that so we can get to another subject? Because we've been on this, who created the black man and the black woman? Again, Jesse Jackson, Farrakhan, Desmond Tutu, Mandela, and the Bishop, Elijah Muhammad, W.D. Muhammad, Martin Luther King, who else was there? Yeah, back in the 80s, when I say Malcolm X, he started out as a Mason when he got there. But then he figured if he'd go to Mecca and become a Muslim or Islamist, it would change the Mason view on it. Because the rules is just a little tad different when you become an Islamic Mason versus an American or a church Mason. You got the Egypt Mason, you got the Greco-Roman church Masons, and you got the Assyrian Persian Masons, aka Babylon. Alright, so you got the mother of all harlots, Babylon, the first Masons, the mother of all Masons, the nanny goat. That's what Babylon would be to the Masons, the nanny goat. And so it made sense why Masons use ride the goat, because the nanny goat is Babylon. Research it, nanny goat. Don't take my word for it, folks. What's up? Yes, you ready? So now when you're looking at this beast language, when the Masons who ride the goat and the Satan of the nanny goat and the goat cult are the sacrificing of the blood and the lamb. Okay, so the nanny goat and sacrificing the blood is synonymous with Satan coming down to heaven, and coming down and live amongst men as God. Who's the other? See what's something else that it might pop up. I was about to end the video as soon as I got up. More information popped in. And that's why our videos are so long. Because this is not something I wrote down. This is all in our head. We have put this stuff together in our head long ago. And the information to confirm it that has got to be having me concerned. I need to be confirmed for I mention it. We don't share anything with you if it hasn't been confirmed already. And we say, hey, we did the research, we used the resources, and it's been confirmed. You know, so that way when this camera go off, and you sit there and be thinking, because first, as I say, when I say fuck African Americans and black people, the first thing that comes to your mind is, ooh, he disrespectful. He's talking reckless, and you talking about fuck our black history and our black culture. And I said, yeah. And they like, oh no, you didn't. You flying up here now and kill him. Because that is the Christian warrior program. Because you don't know that the Christian Mason, Jesse Jackson, they did an architect. They built the black American. They built the African American psyche from scratch. There was a lot of guesswork, wish work, and they're so stupid it'll work anyway. Work. I didn't say that. They said this. So, this is the dilemma you have to worry about. This is the anxiety. You telling the people the truth, and you're exposing the sheep of wolf's clothing. And that Little Red Riding Hood is a little boy called Rama is being protected by the she-wolf, who ate grandmother, which is Rama's metaphorically mother, or metaphorically the woman. No, not the woman. The history. Eat the history. Had it from Little Red Riding Hood. Because it sounds like a female, but when I look at it, when I look at the pictures, it looks like a little boy. And this is why we hear this pedophilia in the church. This is the Red Hood. And yes, the Three Pigs or the Three Kings version of the Egypt version, and the wolf comes what? To blow the three pigs down and burn up their house. Think about it. The wolf, I got pictures of wolfmen or wolf dogs called cynocephalus, meaning dog-headed men, an ancient race called werewolves. Who mixed with some serpent people, whatever, aka they call them vampires. Or I think they might be baboon people who have long fangs, who just so happen to have a thirst for blood. Because with fangs like baboons, you're sticking them in some type of meat. And because baboons don't cook, don't take my word for that part. What else I can shoot you guys? I'm going to take up a dead time. Just waiting for more information. We should try to cover everything before we move on to another segment of a whole new topic. But yeah, I found this out yesterday. Got this guy. Hey, Born Allah, you out there, man? I don't know if, did you know that? You know what I'm talking about, Born Allah. I'm not saying you have anything to do with it. I'm not saying you do or you don't. I'm not even associated with it. I'm just saying we know a mutual guy. And I want to know, did you know anything about this? And because a particular community know that this is true, and because he said he can't, they don't go up there, and I don't know why. Not because I said it, because I was looking for that bullshit. They fall in my lap. Like, what you doing associated with that? Like, what? Type of thing. You know? So, I guess the next question would be, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, niggas and niggettes, and Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. The next question would be, is there any other children in harm's way? Is there any children or any sisters out there who's living in fear of people like this? And because they really have nowhere to go, and the Masons, or my sons, them broke up the family household. Oh shit. My son broke up the family household, and it worked. George Bush said. They shot back. When George Bush knew that they was gonna put a black African American, according to Newsweek, NAC.politics.com, that they're gonna put in the first black African American president. The people went wild. They went to John Hanson. Here's the black first president. No, he ain't. It wasn't called black. It was called according to his tribe at the time. It was tribal contracts back then. was the leader of a tribe. Not a modern Pontus, i.e. Roman. So now, we got the 411, we got the mathematics, we have the pictures, if you want them. We have the resources. We have it in the Quran, we have it in the Bible. We have it in the Gita. If you translate it in any language, it will say the exact same story. I gotta get the cigarette taste out my mouth, excuse me. See, that's only my only addiction, my cigarettes. Use your language. Repent of being black and African American. Do that shit there and run. You're a safe distance. I'm telling you. Make sure you get at a safe distance before you start to run. Alright? Because the more shit you let go, and we're trying to use more shit to hang on to you. Why you giving that away? Why you doing this? Why you acting like that? You're changing. You also get mad. Oh, we ain't cool, huh? They'll call you, blow your phone up. Try it. The shit that brought you to the people that you say is not 100 with you, drop everything you had in common with them. You ain't gotta drop them, just drop what keeps you in common with them. Fuck it, I'm out of finish y'all. Let's try that. Who's over in the house with you right now? Do your exercise. We encourage you to master this. You ain't gotta stop being cool with them. I don't mean kissy these motherfuckers. We're just saying, what's up, that's it. But when you lose interest, what they're interested in too, they'll walk away. You ain't gotta say shit. That's what you have to do to the African American and the black woman and the black man that live in that world and on that psyche. And they have this thing called the Black Success. I think Ron gave you 2 slots now. You can be black, white, free. Black, white, or African American. You see the code book? How many blacks I got? I got this many. How many African Americans I got? I got this How many claim to be black African Americans? I got this many. I'm gonna take that data and mark it according to your numbers and what you consent to. I'll give one bows and arrows, one handguns, and the other one combination of all. And then we'll make it illegal for what we gave them. Why? Because we created them. We created that mind state. And George Bush giggled going there and put Barack Obama, the African from Kenya, allegedly, born out of thin air, no birth certificate, come down and sit on the throne of God. What? The White House. And will lead his people to change what? Their gender. You go Barack Obama and Desmond Tutu said he was not going to heaven if it wasn't boy Tory friendly. The Archbishop, who come from the Vatican, was known to be pedophiles, to say the least, said he's not coming. He don't want to be in the heaven where there's homophobia. So God said he don't want you to sleep with man, and the Archbishop of Rome said, well, he don't want to be in heaven with something like that. What is Farrakhan and Jesse Jackson doing fucking with him? If they wasn't plotting on the black African American being misled to a false heaven and a false prophet. See, in the picture, we create a mind state, black African American. We give them a God king, Barack Obama. We teach them to hate the living God by what? Getting them to support him and his agenda to legalize same sex. Means to hate your God. What the hell? Oh. That's my new ringtone and shit. Let's just get a shit out of that. My chest hurting and shit. You know who the fuck dumped that shit on? So where should be happening, folks? I'm telling you. But one time lights was flickering and shit. Not here. Some other places. I'm like, hell no, I'm not here. Nope. So yeah, we're not saying anything get bad or good against people who's practicing their Mason values and righteousness and not supporting humanity degrading even more. Big ups. This is not an argument. We're just saying, here's the history. Here's what's going on. This is who created the black African American. This is why the world hates you. This is why God don't fuck with you. That's why you worship all the other gods. you or a whore, you get in the bed with any race or any grade out, any fashion, you let fantasy rule you. You let security, I have no, trying to find a universal word for it. Maybe just use the word integrity. Lay back and meditate. But also remember too, we're in Skull and Bones. It's 3:22. Before we close this out. This is the toucher's time, the sun god's time. The time of Jesus resurrecting, the sun coming, or the sun coming out of the darkness to get back up the cross.
Still more damage for you.
Oh, it is? Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, mucho gracias. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, the sun god, the one that says, "You drink your blood, bring me your children, cast all your burdens on me." The one that says you don't have to follow the laws of God no more. Love yourself, i.e. selfish. I didn't come with peace, but with what, war or a sword. Me and my angels was another one. I am the sun and the morning star. He wasn't told he had a twin brother. Like Remus and Ramis, that connection. Cain and Abel, that connection. Judah and Joseph, that connection. Ishmael and Israel, that connection. Because as long as Israel, who argues with God, and Ishmael, who still follows their father, Abraham. You see where the bad son decides he wants to make his disobedience beautiful. And since Lucifer, who used to be, since Satan used to be Lucifer, is why he did the same thing, with disobedience. And the black man and black woman made disobedience beautiful. And so now we have touchers, pedophilia, and bestiality becoming legal, because now the black man and black woman dress like beasts. The mind is sex, the aspirations is beastly. It's become vile in the sight of the Most High. And that's why there's going to be a remnant of Israel who's going to survive and get new names. So Israel, sucks to be you, whether you want to be Judah or whatever the fuck you want to parade yourself. Because one minute you was the kings and queens of Babel, Egypt. 1 minute you was Rasta, this and that. Next minute you was the children of Solomon. The next minute you was the children of David. And the next minute you don't know what the fuck you want to be. And that's why the world So you know what? This identity crisis, we can sell this shit. And they sold you hook, line, and sinker, i.e. fisher of men. Hook, line, and sinker, the bait was African American. And y'all literally ate that shit. We fry your ass, they fry your ass like fish every quarter of the year. Every 3/4. From 3, 6, 9, back to 12. And that's why the beast machine works so wonderful. And that's why we literally look at you guys in the face, you Masons and whatever it is that you proclaim and say. We know who you are, we know what you look like, and I'm not in your way, I'm not your problem. If they can consent to you, your way, they can consent back to the Most High. You know? So, take care of each other. That's the message. Marinate on it. Research it. Really. Marinate it, man. Research it. Look it up for yourself. If you're a Mason already, you know what I mean? It's going to be hard for you to live those principles, so you might as well be the best at it. You know? Just know I'm not y'all enemy or nothing. We're just shooting information. We're not for or against you. We're just a voice in the wind, bearing witness to some shit that's hurt my brothers and sisters who want to seek the Most High and do His will and not their will. Heavenly Father, we ask you to protect us and guide us through these dark days. We ask that you forgive us for our ignorance, forgive us for our sins, forgive us the things we know and don't know. We ask you to confirm His words. We ask you to give us the courage to research it, give us the time, the patience to research it. Help us to internalize it and to see it. Renew our minds and our spirits. Our powers, but our comes, probably for me nothing, we say thank you. Say loud. Thank you guys for rocking with Dopalicious.com. If you got some pennies or nickels and dimes and change laying around, we prefer coins, not paper dollars. If you can, donate to get better recording software. Or something, or if you got or you know a particular app that links Microsoft and Google and PC together, cause them that. I guess it's probably in the near future they'll do that, but right now I don't see it being feasible to better use all three things interchangeably. I mean, maybe one, two, you know, in a triangle type setting. But to be a constant flash between the three, we'll take a fourth one that has the exact same power as Google, with Microsoft and Google. We would need another company to do that. I know it's out there, just we don't have the use for it. But thank y'all guys for rocking with me now. Sit here and relax. And thank the Most High for a new day. And watch your children, man. Today's the 3rd month. Today's the 22nd, 322. And it's 2222. It's very significant and a ritual. Keep an eye on your children. Don't let them run outside. Somebody might snatch them. I'm telling you, what is real. This is not made up. Okay? This is not made up. Call and check in on your mom. Check in on your sister. Don't give a fuck if you're married or not. Check on all the children and check on all the women. Grandma too. You know, grandma too. I'm telling you, man. Skull and Bones, 322. That's George Bush's shit. He's part of that Mason. See, everybody's welcome in Masonhood. Even the beast man, even the barbarian, the savage. As long as they're killing and shedding blood and drinking blood and eating babies and whatever is benefiting from that, that they give some of that money over to the brotherhood to rule the world. I mean the planet rather. That's how they rule the physical planet. Get your children, man. Check on your little sisters. They on the hunt today. They on this internet, portraying something that they ain't, and they look just like you. All right. It used to be taboo that you would hear about brothers killing their families and raping their children and shit. I mean, it really wasn't taboo. It just was rarely talked about. And so that code of silence has to be broken, my sons. The Most High said, if you my sons, you're going to shun that wickedness. You're no longer going to support and hide those who are destroying the children. And if you was a child beating your mother's room like me, you definitely overstand that emotion to be beat before you was even born. You ain't took a breath and the motherfucker outside beating the fuck out of you. Caused you mental trauma through your mom's frequency and her bloodstream. As her water and her blood boils. And you're like, Mom, it's hot down this bitch. Got me this after birth cooking like a motherfucking frog. God damn it, what y'all doing out there, motherfucker? That's why the baby be pushing on the stomach. What the fuck is you doing out there? It's hot in this bitch. I feel your sorrow and your anger. You know? That's a message to you raggedy motherfuckers from the unborn. Not the undead, but from the unborn. We ain't talking about the baby that y'all killed. It's called abortion. We talking about the one that's in the womb right now. To all the pregnant mothers. You're responsible for that boiling ass water that baby ain't called. Being angry and shit. Cause a nigga look cute or he got money and cause his dick big. You're gonna subject the unborn to this madness. And then we get out, we come to the planet and we tell you we ain't with that shit. And you created this shit. I'm your mother, don't talk to me. I'll kill you. I'll brought you to this world and I'll take you. I'm quite sure you would. Heifer. You know what I mean? Am I lying? And daddy too, you black man, you fuck nigga, you all got all that coke in your blood. Come on, I don't get high. Got that hair on from blowing in your nose. I don't do dope. Be all up in the club acting like you don't get high and all that extra shit to be buying coke on the side. Matter of fact, half you motherfuckers come to the club so you can buy coke for real, for real. Be in the girl's bathroom. Come out. I hate crackheads. Yeah, alright, bitch. Why you get that whole powder in your bottom of your purse? and your children ain't got no motherfucking real books, but you got every motherfucking Chanel purse that's plastic from the corner store. And they gonna get on Instagram and shit, talking about, yeah, bitch, he ain't got no money. Okay. Y'all know them. Y'all know them. Grandma, their hip hop grandma, hip hop granny. You know, she got orange and blue over hair and shit, and spandex. Come on, my shit jiggling. You damn right it's jiggling. It's call you old, bitch. Sit the fuck down, aka Mary J. Blige. Y'all need to stop doing that to them old motherfucking females, man. Tell them motherfuckers you ain't got it like that no more. You know, you're still beautiful. You still needed and wanted. But sit the fuck down. You're not jiggy like that no more. Throw your motherfucking fingers up. When you start that shit, didn't even sound right. Come on, I would never go to a concert. Get all these bottles in your hand, like. Did a motherfucker just tell you, in order for you to stop, to be a successful, if you're gonna be drug free totally from everything, you can't be popping bottles. So somewhere you still belong to. Which is cool. I mean, hey, but you don't. That's why we share with folks is this. We don't hate the person, we hate the sin. That's what I share with you guys. I don't condone recreational drug use. I don't condone it. I don't condone recreational drug use or any conditions, or any level rather. But if you going through some shit, you know what I mean? And it's gonna keep you from killing yourself or hurting somebody or putting other people in harm's way, like drinking and driving or drugging and driving. No, you sit your motherfucking ass down, smoke you some weed. You're gonna do some speedy shit like coke, clean your fucking house or some shit, wipe the walls, motherfucker. You know that ceiling fan got about 16 inches of dust on it. Get up there and hit that motherfucker. Just don't bump your head, you know. And don't fall asleep with them torches. One day, road shit. I know I was gonna hang this up, but like I just said, shit, keep coming. You know, I'm gonna lay my ass down, put my white pen on my game. We just left Florida before Hurricane Katrina came. Because they want to hit Florida first. And fucked up everything. So we drove from Florida to Cali. Man, we get to this place. This motherfucker, smoking crystal meth and crack, was using a torch, right? And because they smoked so much, they're up. This is what happened to Richard Pryor and JoJo Dancing, more or less. The motherfucker nodded off. Yeah, after smoking so much meth or crack, according to sources, that instead of being up, they start going to sleep, and the torch was still lit. And Rich got his hair burnt. He's getting high by the fire police. But this particular motherfucker dropped the torch on the carpet and burnt down the whole house complex. We wasn't there a good 30 days, man. Talk about bad luck, man. Oh, man, that was a horrible experience. Then we moved somewhere else. Nigga didn't pay the rent. We shared housing. We had our own room. We paid $8 a month. It was good, like 15, 2 bands a month staying in this house in San Jose. So we pay our share, right? And we thinking everything Tahiti, man. Remember that word, Tahiti? And we think everything copacetic. No problem. Rent paid. I'm big on paying my motherfucking rent, man. I'm bent on paying where you at. Contribute, motherfucker, contribute. If you ain't got no paper, I hope you can do something. Like take the garbage out, run the vacuum sweeper. If you got ladders, man, hit the windows in the outside. Just, damn, okay? You always don't need no money. Man, this motherfucker ain't paid rent for a whole year, man. I'm wondering why landlord talking shit to us and me. What the fuck you talking about? Before I pay rent, I got receipts and shit, right? Yeah, come and find out. This motherfucker ain't paid no rent for a whole year. Just when we thought shit was getting better, we got worse. End up sleeping on the side behind the bush, man. And these ain't what you call so-called black people. These is the other black people called Filipinos. Yeah. Those black people came over here from Vietnam. Who defected from their country under America, the great eagle, they could rest under her predatory wings. Beautiful culture, don't get me wrong. And yes, and we're still like this. Then, they have this thing called white elephant. That's what it is, white elephant. Where I guess you hide gifts or some shit like that. But it was amazing just to experience other cultures. Especially first time I ate some dry seaweed. Oh, but hell, I'm not eating that shit. But nonetheless, it was good. It became popular. I said, anything becomes popular, I'm done eating. I said, I don't eat shit popular. Nope. For some reason, popular becomes poisonous. Those who have ears, let them hear. Those who have wisdom, let them exercise it. Anything popular is poisonous. Everything's the opposite like that. Oh yeah. Peace. We out. And most I keep you guys safe. Books. Delicious.com. Take any donation, even a kind word. Money sign Hosea Omar. Cash out. This is for the people, by the people. Thank you for your time. Say that.